Doctor, please, what is your advice on anhedonia related to depression? Anhedonia is the inability to feel pleasure, and this often does accompany depression. Sometimes it can be really severe. People don't feel any pleasure doing anything. So there are a couple ways that I would approach this. There's a pharmacotherapy approach. Usually that's going to be an SSRI or an SNRI or Wellbutrin, sometimes even adding in an atypical antipsychotic or a stimulant even in some cases. If it's really severe and doesn't respond to any of those things, even sometimes ketamine or esketamine can be used. I do not normally start with medications if the person can function. If they're completely non-functional, usually you have to give them some medications to kind of get them over that first little hill, get some momentum going. I would start with cognitive behavioral therapy techniques. Acceptance and commitment therapy can be used. This is where you commit people to take action on things despite reduced motivation. Now, there is a phenomenon, though, that I do need to bring up before I go any further. And I have a really important thing to share at the end, along with a book recommendation. But let me launch into this. Depression does something to your mind. It impacts your memory. It impacts your ability to predict the future. People with depression will say that I don't ever remember being happy. And they'll also say, nothing that I do will make me feel any happier. And so there's no point in doing any of it. And they will swear on their life that this is true. They know this is true because this is what their brain is telling them. This is the reality that their brain is presenting to them. To them, nothing that they do will ever make them feel any better. So don't do it. Why do anything? Now, when we study this scientifically, we find that this is not typically the case. You can take a really depressed person and you'll say, all right, your friends are getting together, they're going to do something, they're going to go out to eat, and then they're going to go watch a show. If you go and do this, how will this impact your mood? Will you get any less depressed? Will you feel any pleasure at all? Will you feel better? Will you feel worse? And they will say, 99 times out of 100, this will have no impact on me. I will feel no better. I'll probably just get anxious just going, and I won't enjoy it at all. It'll be terrible. That's what their brain tells them. That's the prediction that their brain makes. And so they stay at home. They don't go. But if we involve them in a study and we say, you need to go anyways as part of this study, go hang out with your friends, go to the restaurant, go to dinner afterwards, and I want you to call me and report specifically how you're feeling at this time. Or every 30 minutes record, what your emotions are like, or somehow record what you feel. We have found from studies that I've looked at that the predictions are off. They actually do feel better doing these things. They'll say, I thought this wouldn't make me feel any better, but now that I'm here, I'm with my friends, my depression was like a 9 out of 10 before, and now it's like a 4 out of 10 that I'm here and I'm doing this and I'm with them and I'm having this good food and we're laughing about the movie. My depression's been cut in half. And this completely flies in the face of the predicted anhedonia, because depression tells you that nothing that you do will ever make you feel better. It's very difficult to operate through life when your brain is presenting a certain version of reality that's not correct. Okay, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it is correct, that you really don't get any pleasure doing anything at all in life. What do you do then? You need to find something else. And I've got a book recommendation for you. It's called The Happiness Trap. Check it out. In your particular instance, you may need to seek for something besides pleasure in life. And there is more than pleasure. There's meaning. There's purpose. And yes, that is a huge obstacle, because normally when we do something good, something right, something helpful in some way, we get a feeling of pleasure from it. But for some people, that may not be the case. They may have to find something deeper that they're working towards. Something that gives them purpose and meaning in life. Another book that I'd recommend is called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Man living in the Nazi concentration camp, literally being tortured and starved to death and watching constant torture and starvation all around him, but finding meaning through it and able to get through it. And perhaps for some people, this is what their life is. You can still have a beautiful life, even devoid of pleasure, according to these people. I cannot speak from experience in this case. I can only cite studies and things that I've researched. And based on what I've researched, those would be my recommendations. Last recommendation, don't give up hope. Even if these things don't work, there's still even therapies like ECT, and which has like an 80% effectiveness rate for depression, compared to medication that has like a 40% effectiveness rate. Exercise, social engagement, mindfulness and meditation, even dietary changes and supplements like omega-3, L-methylfolate, N-acetylcysteine. Keep fighting, don't give up, keep working. And sometimes there's just periods of your life that are like this, and this period will eventually end and you'll enter into a new period when you can have joy in life. Don't take your own life, please. I have worked with so many people who have either taken their life or have had family members who've taken their life. And all that this does is take the pain, the agony, the suffering from you and put it on all the people that you care about and all the people that care about you. The world needs you. You're important, and your story is important. Don't end it prematurely. Please, get help. See a health professional.